What is going on, Bulls Nation? Back again for another video. So, sad news, Bulls Nation. 3 in a row for the Bulls, and the schedule is not getting easier. So, these games are a must have for the Bulls. We can't afford to lose games that we're supposed to win. And I understand the Hawks are not a bad team. On paper, we're just better than them. And we gave away like double digit lead with this Hawks. And again, we can't if we can't split the playoff games, the teams that are in the playoffs, because we're gonna slide down to fifth seed. And I feel like we need a home court advantage. We do need it. We need every help we could get. Ideally, we finish in the first seed, but that's not going to happen anymore. It's getting grim and grim. Up until those guys comes back, and I guess that's the only hope for us Bulls fans right now. Is it's getting to a point where I don't know what's going on. Like it's hard for me to explain what is going on with the Bulls. Now, this loss right here is a bit easier to digest than the loss to the Heat. For once, we didn't get blown out by the Hawks, and we shouldn't be. They're the Hawks. And I think we scored adequately to a point where, all right, it's the defensive prowess. We allowed the Hawks to score 130. And I can live with that because there's this hope that when our defensive players comes back, that they're not going to score 130. As far as our players, Vooch had a good game. He got 21 points and 11 rebounds. DeMar is not his, February DeMar. He had 22 points, 9 assists. So he's distributing the ball, 7 rebounds, almost a triple double. Ayo had 15 points. He didn't lock down Trae Young the way he did on the first game, but you can only contain Trae Young for so long. Zach had 22 points, so not bad at all. Kobe has 15. So scoring wise, we were there, right? We were there. It's just this kind of games. You gotta have some stops, and we get it. We get it. We're not gonna harp on this too much. Defense is lackluster for the Bulls, and luckily we have some three defensive studs that is giving us hope. Is it a false hope? I don't know, man, but it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because those three guys are just defensive, genius out there. We all know what Ball is capable of in Caruso, and to an extent, Patrick Williams. We've seen him defend, and he's a very versatile defender. And I'm okay losing, being outscored by this much. Again, because you had that hope, that glimmer of hope at the end of the day. One thing that's alarming though is our offense. It almost feels like DeMar needs a 35 points all the time for us to win the game. Even against Atlanta, like it feels that way, and it's not going to happen all the time. DeMar had a great run, but I think it's asking too much. That's why we have 3 stars. And don't get me wrong, those 3 stars contributed. Again, combined, they had 65 points. Put that with Io's 15. I mean, what more can you ask for? The team scored 124 points. You just can't give away 130 points and expect to win. I mean, that means you got to score 100, more than 130. And are we capable of doing that? I suppose, but outside of, Kobe scoring 15, if you look at our bench, there isn't really a player that you can point at and be like, hey, all right, fill the score that Lonzo didn't do. So it's hard. But there are some key pointers in this game. We've finally seen an experiment between Vooch and Thompson, which was not as bad as I thought it would be. I thought that this is a perfect experiment for them because Atlanta is, with Capella, and they play pretty big, and the combination did work at times. We're having trouble with those long rebounds and rotation because we have 2 slow-footed guys out there, but it's a nice touch just in case we match up with the likes of Cleveland, who has 2 big guys. And not Indiana, but Indiana has no, they broke that up. But it's nice to see it out there. Just in case, we face Joel Embiid and we're having trouble with rebound. I guess on the backside, Tristan would help. But I like the fact that slowly and surely we're integrating Thompson into the flow of the offense. He had a lot of minutes today. He had 21 minutes. That's good to see. His communication on defense, you can see them, the switch, the rotation. I think it's more fluid when Thompson is in there. What you're giving up, though, is the offensive prowess, although he did score 8 points. So that is not terrible. Javante scored 8 points as well. DJ, 4 points, 13 minutes. Not bad overall game for the Bulls. It's just frustrating because tomorrow we're going to match up with Milwaukee, and the way we're playing, you can almost scratch this as a loss, unless, again, DeMar scores 39 points or something like that. Then we wouldn't even stand a chance. But it is discouraging. It's disheartening to see this Bulls crumbling right in front of us towards down the stretch when it counts the most. And if we could, I haven't done the math, but if we split this remaining schedule, let's say we win half and lose half, I guess we'll drop down to, 4th, 5th seed. And that might be the best case scenario at this point. Although I still trust the Bulls, We have superstars in the team. We're all-stars, maybe not superstars. We have 3 all-stars in the team. And Lonzo and Caruso, we're holding to that hope again. Hopefully they do come back because we badly need those guys right now. We can't allow other teams to score 130 points in the paint. I'm not even looking at that. I can't find this on the stats here, but our turnovers, we have 13 overs compared to the Hawks 5, so there's no pressure whatsoever with the Hawks here. Points in the paint, we're leading the Hawks, so we're not getting fast break points because we're not pressuring the ball. That's the key here. We're not getting the easy buckets, and hopefully this all changes. But hey, Bulls fans, hanging tight there. We're still gonna make the playoffs, and when those guys comes back, anything could happen. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in another game.